today's lesson will be on forces, both how to draw them and how to identify different types of forces. A force is going to be a push or pull on an object. Now this has to be done by a different object, and there are a variety of different ways that this can be accomplished. Now we will talk about 5 different forces. Primarily at this point there are other forces in the world, but for our use in this class we'll discuss 5 major ones and then a couple of others second semester. The first one that you should be familiar with is the force of gravity, signified by Fg, so this would be gravity. An equation we will not be using this year, but you might see in the future, would be force of gravity is equal to G m1 m2 over r squared. We're not going to worry about that for our purpose. We just need to understand that gravity is an interaction between 2 masses. For our sake, on Earth, this interaction is typically between you and Earth, or an object being thrown in Earth, but it's always directed towards the center of the Earth, because Earth is the larger mass in our vicinity. The unit for force is always going to be Newton, which is a capital N, which is equal to a kilogram meter per second squared. So it's mass times acceleration, which we will see in later equations and formulas. So we have gravity, we see that and experience that every day. We also have Fn, which is the normal force. This is a push perpendicular to a surface. This could be the force of the chair pushing up against your body, keeping you from falling to the ground. This could be the force of the ground pushing upwards on your feet. This could be your feet pushing down on the ground. This could be the force of someone pushing against a car to get it moving. We also have force tension, which is a pull with some sort of rope or string. Remember, you can't push with a rope or a string because it would be loose and the object wouldn't go anywhere. If it's a solid stick or a cable, if you're able to push, that would actually be the normal force. Now the other 2 forces we experience but aren't obvious. So the other forces are frictional forces, which is any force that opposes motion. And then we will discuss 2 of them. We'll discuss force of friction static, and we will discuss force of friction kinetic. The big difference is static means the object's not moving. Kinetic, we have movement. An example of force friction static could be someone pushing a very heavy refrigerator and it not moving. That force keeping it from moving would be a static friction force. If you put the same refrigerator on a hockey rink and pushed on it, it would move because there wouldn't be that friction keeping it in place. Force friction kinetic would be found anytime something is slowing down to a stop. You were to roll a ball down carpeting, and eventually at some point it will come to a stop. That is kinetic friction. Now there are other forms of force that we will discuss later in the year, electrical force and so on, but these basic 5 are what we will discuss in this chapter.